Because there is no other place to be. Goodbye, third quarter, hello NCTV. The bell rings and the students fill the hall. It's time for spring break, we all hear the call. Because there is no other place to be. Goodbye, third quarter, hello NCTV.
Hello, my name is Katelyn Cooper.
And I'm Brandon Atkin.
And welcome to NCTV.
For our first story today, students from all over the state ventured out in some crazy wind to compete in a track tournament.
It's just for the 9th and 10th graders to kind of like get the feel of competing against each other, who they're going to be competing with for the next few years, so that they kind of know what's going on. It's kind of nice to not have the older kids competing, the more experienced kids. And indoor, I do the 400, 800, 4x8, mile, and 2 mile. A lot of my closest friends are actually in track. We spend a lot of time together on buses or at meets. We spend every day after school together, so the friendships are just pretty close. We like to do stuff out of school together sometimes too, but the family feel, a lot of friends do it, so it's just a good bonding experience.
Now our next story is also about running, but not on a track.
But first, here's today's trivia question.
However, we're changing the rules a little bit.
So if you want to answer the question, it will be in the show and the description of the show. If you want to answer the question, go to the comment section and answer there.
You guys will have all week to answer, and next week on Friday when we have our next broadcast, we will announce the winner of one of the random correct answers.
Now here's the trivia question.
Guess this book. This book is one of the best-selling young adult fiction books of 2015, and the main character suffers from what's called bubble baby disease, which essentially means that she's allergic to the world.
Now here's our next story. So we all know the recent candidates for presidency, but who are you voting for? Let's see if we can help you find that out.
In 12 presidential elections, only 54% of the voting age population actually voted, with a majority of voters claiming that they refused to vote because they didn't know who to vote for. Political website I Side With hopes to solve this problem through education on the candidates' stances and important issues in American society today. Claiming to be a bipartisan website, I Side With uses national polls to determine the issues most important to the American public. The quiz itself is composed of various political categories, including social, environmental, and foreign policy. Participants can choose to answer each of these questions, ranking issues by importance, or skip through them depending on how comfortable they are with each problem. Additionally, I Side With allows voters to explore subjects more in depth and see where other voters in their state fall on issues. However, that doesn't make I Side With every voter's one-stop guide. As political stances on issues can change or be clarified throughout the race, voters are encouraged to do further research both on and off the site before voting in the presidential elections. Though claiming to be a bipartisan website, recent allegations against I Side With also question if the site truly provides voters with an accurate representation of candidates and key issues. While collecting political data, I Side With aims to educate the voting public while also encouraging voters to participate in the elections. If you aren't entirely sure what candidate to vote for and watching every single presidential debate isn't for you, I Side With may be able to get you started on the 2016 presidential election possibilities.
Now for those of you who aren't sure if you'd rather have Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton as president, now maybe you can help further your explanation of if you'd rather have the lesser of two evils. Now, let's go to Katelyn to talk about books. Ebooks or books?
We're here today with Vicki Berger from Wind City Books, and she's going to tell us a little bit about just books in general. So some of the questions I had to ask you today were about ebooks, because the rise of ebooks have been really prominent right now, especially with everybody being able to just look it up on their phone real quick or purchase it on their phone, and it's really easy to carry around. Have you seen a lot of decrease in your sales due to that increase in ebooks?
We did initially when ebooks came on the scene, but that seems to have stabilized, and we haven't really noticed any impact recently from it. And looking at the industry reporting through Publishers Weekly, ebook sales actually are down, and it's really interesting to me that one of the biggest areas in which they're down is your age group. Maybe you can explain that one to me.
Well, personally, I like the feeling of tangible books. Like, I have a Kindle, and I use it occasionally, or I'll use the Kindle app on my phone, and it's nice to have books in my phone. But since I got the Kindle several years ago, I really haven't purchased a lot of books on it because I truly just feel like I love the feeling of books, and I like the smell of books, and I like being able to turn the pages and just having it in my hands.
It's nice to hear that from you, because that was kind of what the feeling I was getting. People spend so much time reading computers, and with the advent of more and more of the textbooks online and in an ebook format, I think that people really appreciate having something they can hold and smell and feel and dog ear if they want to.
So how long have you been running Wind City Books, or how long have you guys had the store open?
We opened the store in September of 2007, so we're in our 9th year now, and enjoying it immensely. Monday night we had CJ Box here. Well, we hosted him at the library. Our book signing there, we regularly get Craig Johnson here and numerous other authors.
How many teenagers do you guys usually get in here buying books?
Not as many as I would like. I generally have more parents in buying for them. But, you know, we'd really like to be able to make sure that we're carrying the books that they want to see in the store. You know, we're still up against the fact that so many people have no idea we're here. We're in our 9th year, and we've advertised in every form of media that is available to us, and still have people coming in and saying, I had no idea there was a bookstore here in town.
Wind City Books would love to see you, so make sure to stop by soon. Next up, our next story is also about a book, To Kill a Mockingbird. Let's take a look.
The award-winning classic To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee is coming to Casper in the form of a play. The Casper Theater Company is hosting this performance not only to honor a literary classic, but to spread a message about tolerance in our modern world. But what goes into making this kind of production?
We have about 12, 13 people. We are rehearsing without some of our cast members at the moment. We kind of have some in and out of town. And that's kind of how our rehearsals have gone, but we have about 13 in our cast. We are still missing 2 main characters, which we're having to revise our script for. It would be, I think, more insulting to cut that part or to put a white person in with blackface or to try to do something else. I think that's more insulting, but it is an important part that we actually have to have. So we're improvising. I'm hoping they'll understand. You know, we do live in Casper, Wyoming, where the ratio is very low for people of color. And I hope they understand that this is a story that needs to be done, especially in our world today. You know, we need to have tolerance and, you know, go back to love thy neighbor.
All performances are April 14th through the 17th and 21st through the 24th. The Thursday, Friday, Saturday performances begin at 7:30 p.m. and all Sunday matinees begin at 2 p.m. All performances are hosted at 735 CY Avenue next to the Family Dollar. And all tickets are sold at Charlie T's Pizzeria, the Greater Federal Credit Union, and Gigworths, and also sold at the door. Tickets are $10 for seniors and $13 for adults. We hope that you go.
For those of you who have not read To Kill a Mockingbird for some reason, you now know that the book is not about killing mockingbirds.
I'm actually pretty upset.
Just a reminder, you guys can comment in the comments below all week to answer the trivia question. Thank you for watching NCTV.
Straight from the Mustangs?
Or Phillies.
Mouth.
Because there is no other place to be. Goodbye, third quarter, hello NCTV. The bell rings and the students fill the hall. It's time for spring break, we all hear the call. Because there is no other place to be.
Yeah, you can hear us talking.
Goodbye, third quarter, hello NCTV.
Sending you bad. No, but I'm gonna rewind it so you can think we're up and hear.
No, we heard the clapping, which wasn't that bad.
Yeah, they think maybe that's like professional.
Could they hear me?
Yeah.
Oh.